You're looking at Ichiro Suzuki, the newest Yankee, and he is looking across the field at his former teammates on the first base side in the Mariners dugout. Ichiro's got a lot more veterans around him now. You can see Phil Hughes just to his right, Andy Pettitte just to his left. So he's got some adjustments to make. He's going to be in the lineup tonight. Here is the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. At the very top, it's going to be the captain, Derek Jeter, leading off. Curtis Granderson will be in center field. Alex Rodriguez at third base. Robinson Cano will clean up. He'll be at second. Mark Teixeira is at first. Raul Ibanez will be the designated hitter, followed by Andrew Jones in left field. Ichiro Suzuki makes his debut in a Yankee uniform. He'll be in right. And Russell Martin doing the catching and batting ninth.
Here they're going to face the veteran right-hander Kevin Millwood. He's actually had a pretty decent year this year. Not a lot of run support, but you can see this will be his 19th start, and that ERA is decent, 4.15. Hits and walks, pretty good. Strikeout 75. And the McDonald's pitcher scouting report, he was part of that combined no-hitter and got a no decision in it. No decision, no-hitter. That came against the Dodgers on June 8th, and he's part of the 2,000 strikeout club this year, too. 67 players, 67 pitchers that are part of that 2,000 strikeout club. He's one of them now. He's actually 61st on the list. And he has struggled at Safeco, though. He's got a 5.09 ERA here at home, which is a little surprising because it's a good pitcher's park.
Pitch is fouled back by Jeter. That will leave it a count at a ball and a strike. Millwood's career record against the Yankees is 3-6. He actually beat the Yankees early this year in New York on May the 13th. He went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. There are the numbers on Jeter, hitting .311, 4 for 13 on this road trip. And he swings, ground ball towards the middle, into the center field for a base hit. Make that 5 for 14 on the trip for the Yankee captain. He's on with a leadoff single. Mariners defense is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Let's look around the outfield first from left to right. In the outfield, in left field, it's going to be Casper Wells, Michael Saunders in center, Carlos Peguero in right field, Seager, Ryan, Ackley, Smoke in the infield with John Jaso doing the catching. Curtis Granderson batting second for the Yankees. And Curtis takes the first pitch from Millwood, and it's in there for a called strike. Granderson hit his 26th home run of the season yesterday in the Yankee loss at Oakland. The Yankees have played 95 games thus far this year. Pitch is foul tip, and the count is 0-2. Last year, Curtis, on this date, July 23rd, 2011, he also had 26 home runs. But the Yankees had played 3 more games, so he's slightly ahead of his pace from a year ago. Low batting averages for the Yankee outfielders, but they've got the most home runs. His pitch is popped up foul behind home plate. Coming back is Jaso, and he's going to run out of room. The ball hits the screen. John Jaso, the former Tampa Bay Ray, is going to give away a souvenir. Create some goodwill here in the top half of the first inning.
See here, good effort. You know, he's not slowing down at all. He's going to go right through that screen if he has to. A little elbow to the guy he gives the ball to. So that's a nice nice gesture.
Count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Curtis Granderson. Another pitch fouled back to the screen. As we mentioned, the Yankees, well, on this road trip, they are still looking for a win and facing a veteran in Kevin Millwood, who knows his way around the block, doesn't he, David?
Well, he really does, you know, and you look at his career numbers, they're very respectable. He's bounced around a little bit. You know, I talked to earlier this year about facing him when he was with the Braves in Game 2 of the 1999 World Series. He had a really good year that year as well.
Granderson takes one just off the outside corner. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Millwood also, you know, I talked about you know, facing him, and that was a good game for the Yankees right there in Game 2 of the El Duque stuffed them in Game 1, and we ended up sweeping the Braves that year. in 1999.
Yeah, that was a quick World Series. Granderson fouls another pitch off, and the count remains a ball with 2 strikes.
You know, I mentioned that Millwood was part of that combined no-hitter that the Mariners threw earlier this year on June 8th against the Dodgers. He got a no decision. He threw 6 hitless innings, but he does have a no-hitter to his credit. When he's with Philly, he did it in 2003 against the Giants. So he has a no-hitter and part of a combined no-hitter as well this year.
Back in those days in 03, he threw a lot harder than he does now. Throw to first to check on Jeter. He's back easily. The Yankee captain stands there with 7 stolen bases in 9 attempts this year. At the stage of his career, I would say he picks his spots. And with the Yankee power, they don't run as much as they did last year. This pitch is fouled back again by Granderson. And especially with the absence of Brett Gardner, and I think that's one thing the Yankees are looking for Ichiro to provide. The type of speed at the bottom of the order to get things going, to set things up for the top of the order. And you might have noticed that Ichiro is wearing number 31. All these years in Seattle, he wore number 51. And there was a lot of speculation on Twitter today, David, what number Ichiro was going to wear in the Yankee uniform. Granderson swings and misses strike 3. Millwood puts him away and picks up his first strikeout of the night.
See Millwood trying to go away with this slider. Kind of ends up and over the plate, and Granderson doesn't recognize it. Just kind of thinks, uh-oh, emergency swing. Pretty good ball to hit, but the speed fooled him.
Well, with the chorus of boos, you know that Alex Rodriguez is coming to the plate. The former Seattle Mariner, former #1 draft pick of the Mariners, #1 overall, and put up some great numbers in a Mariner uniform. Of course, left to sign with the Texas Rangers for a mega deal. 6 for 17 on the road trip, and he takes the first pitch up high for ball 1. A-Rod has hit 454 home runs since leaving the Mariners. Babe Ruth, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, Rafael Palmeiro, and Gary Sheffield, only players with more after leaving their first team. Ball's hit towards second. This could be 2. Ackley to Ryan to Smoke, and it's a 4-6-3 double play. And that'll do it for the Yankees here at the top of the first. Millwood gives up a hit, but nothing else. Ichiro Suzuki will be in right field when we come back. Oh, Ichiro taking over in right field, and you can see the fans about to get on their feet and give him a nice ovation. 11.5 years in a Mariners uniform, their all-time hit leader, 10-time All-Star, and they appreciate his efforts. And there's a salute for all the support during those 11.5 years. Now let's check out the Seattle lineup. Going to be facing Hiroki Kuroda tonight. And at the very top is going to be the second baseman, Dustin Ackley, followed by Casper Wells, the left fielder. John Jaso's the catcher. Jesus Montero, the former Yankees, the designated hitter tonight. He'll be the cleanup hitter. Kyle Seager at third. Michael Saunders will patrol center field. Justin Smoke will be at first. Carlos Peguero in right field. And Brendan Ryan, he'll bat ninth, and he'll be at shortstop.
And Mr. Kuroda, been pitching so well for the Yankees. Very reliable. Going to be his 20th start, looking for that 10th win, double digits. The ERA very respectable. Innings pitched, only 33 walks in 122 and a third innings. Let's take a look at the McDonald's pitcher scouting report. League leader, well, he's got 5 starts of at least 7 innings pitched and no earned runs, which is the most in the American League. Pretty impressive. And now he is finally supported. You know, I've talked all year about get this guy some runs. He's really never had run support his whole career, going back to the Dodgers. Well, over his last 8 games, he's had 6.67 runs per game to work with, and that's the most on the Yankee staff. And I think he's a better pitcher when you give him runs. Any pitcher would be. And tough in the clutch. Over his last 11 starts, just a 176 batting average against with runners in scoring position. That's the lowest in the American League over that stretch.
A 1-1 career record against the Mariners as Kuroda takes the hill tonight for the Yankees. And that win came with the Yankees back in New York. Here's Dustin Ackley, the leadoff hitter, hitting .226. And the former #1 draft pick swings at the first pitch and lifts a fly ball to center for Curtis Granderson, who puts it away, and there's one out. We saw Granderson in center. He's flanked in the outfield by Andrew Jones in left and Ichiro in right field. Ichiro with the 10 gold gloves. You got Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira in the infield, and Russell Martin doing the catching tonight for Hiroki Kuroda. The Yankees defense brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. So one down, then to bring up Casper Wells. Wells came over to the Mariners in a deal with the Tigers last year. Pitches out over the outside corner for a call strike. That was a deal that saw Doug Fister go to Detroit and become a fixture in the Detroit rotation. Wells bouncing ball, and it's fair down the third base line. It should be in there for an extra base hit. Wells rounds first, he's in the second. Jones corrals it, gets it back in, and it's a one-out double for Casper Wells. Wells batting second tonight. Last night, or yesterday in Tampa Bay, he batted first.
A nice piece of hitting right there. Casper Wells just beats Kuroda to the spot. He hit the glove. Not only did he beat him to the spot, he kept that ball fair. And the minute it gets down the line, that's an automatic double.
I mentioned he batted first yesterday. It was the first time in his career he ever led off, and he became the 7th leadoff hitter this year for the Mariners. That's been kind of a rough spot in their order. Here's John Jaso, the catcher, the former Ray. Man on second with one out here in the bottom of the first inning. And the first pitch from Kuroda is poured in there for a strike.
Pretty good numbers, 287.
On base percentage, solid at 388. He's always been a guy who goes deep in the counts. Will get his walks. Takes one up and in. That one wasn't too hard to take.
Good pitch.
Now, why would you say that was a good pitch?
You know, these guys with the open stance, if you watch Jaso, watch how open that front leg is. And when he's going to try to dive in, usually guys that hit like this with a real open stance, their first move is to move back towards the plate. And you got to let them know as a pitcher, you're not going to let them dive that hard.
Check swing, roll it right back to Kuroda. He throws the A-Rod, and they have Wells in a rundown. Jeter tags him out. Might be a double play. No. Jaso's able to get back to first. Jeter kind of with an off-balance throw to first base to try and pick off Jaso at first base.
See, Kuroda gets the check swing and a nice reaction play. Backhand, get rid of it. That's what the pitcher does. Let these position players handle the rundowns. And Jeter, you see Kuroda gets right to Alex. And then Alex and Jeter can handle this. Jeter with the quick tag, that's well done. And then the quick throw by Jeter, you see him get his feet tangled up. And he just couldn't quite get the throw where he wanted to. Otherwise, they would have had a double play there.
All right, 2 outs, and Jaso at first. And here's the former Yankee, Jesus Montero, who's a designated hitter today. Montero's been swinging a pretty hot bat lately. He's 12 for his last 26. That was on the recent road trip for the Mariners. And he's hitting .310 in the month of July to jack his overall average up to .261. The 1-0 pitch is inside, backs him off the plate. Montero, month by month, got off to a decent start the first 2 months. 7 home runs in April and May. June was kind of a rough month, only 1 home run, 1 run batted in. And July's starting to come back a little bit. Maybe not with the power, but at least with the batting average.
It's hard to believe, those June numbers.
Good slider, swung on and missed for a strike, and it's 2-1. Montero has really worn out left-handed pitching this year. And this might be an example of why he has struggled against the righties. Just .206 against right-handers.
Yes, and you can see he's swinging a fastball the whole way, and he missed that by a good 6 inches.
Against lefties, he's a .369 hitter. That missed, just missed. You know, Montero's kind of split the difference between catching and being the DH. This is his 45th start as a designated hitter. He has started as a catcher in a ball game 35 times.
And that's the real question moving forward. Is he going to be the everyday catcher or not?
It's a little chopper. It's going to be a tough play for A-Rod. Charging, throwing on the run, and it's a wide throw. Past the share and then on into the seat, so the runners will move up. Jaso will be sent back to third. He had rounded third, heading for home. And it's going to be a two-base error on Alex Rodriguez. And the inning will continue.
Well, a good pitch first off by Kuroda. Just ties up Montero, and Alex on the run. Nowhere close.
He missed his receiver, didn't he?
He did. I mean, trying to do it all in one motion with the glove and then the exchange, and just got caught in between. And that, Teixeira, that's a dangerous play. Teixeira going up the line. It was so off track that Teixeira couldn't even make an attempt at it.
So that will give an opportunity to Kyle Seager, the third baseman, with runners in scoring position at second and third. Seager, the leading RBI man on the Mariners this year. He's driven in 58 runs. 2 out, second and third. Kuroda trying to get out of a jam that he did not create. First pitch is fouled off, and it's strike one.
If you remember early in the year, the first inning was Kuroda's problem inning, but he has really turned it around. He has not allowed a first inning run in 9 of his last 10 starts after combining to surrender 12 runs in the opening frame over his first 9 outings. So that's also been a big turnaround for Kuroda, is getting out of the gate a little better.
Do you think feeling more comfortable around his teammates and in a Yankee uniform, maybe not trying to do too much at the beginning of ball games?
Yeah, part of that is emotional, without a doubt.
Seager takes the next pitch in there for a call strike. Seager's been a valuable type player, very versatile. He's played third, short, and second for the Mariners this year. Made it to the big leagues fairly quickly, a third-round pick in 2009. The 0-2 pitch, tried to get him to chase one just out of the zone, and that's veteran type pitching. Ride the fringe of the strike zone, maybe he'll hit a check swing, go too far, and he's out of there.
It's like we were talking in yesterday's game, Ken. You made the point that one pitch leads to the next, and you've got him set up for the splitter down. Try to get a swing and a miss and a strikeout.
Tried the high fastball again, and it's fouled back. Now he's really got him set up for it.
Just try to read the bat every pitch, and you could see that Seager was late on that high fastball there too, just protecting, as most hitters would with 2 strikes. So if you're reading the bat, you might try to double up and go back in again, or if you do throw the splitter, make sure it's down and out of the zone.
There's the splitter. It's lined to right field, but Ichiro has it lined up. He makes the catch, and that's going to do it for the Seattle Mariners here in the bottom of the first inning. They do not score. They leave a couple of runners. When we come back, Robinson Cano is going to lead it off. Hey fans, it's time for the Toyota Text Ball, and tonight's question will be, let's see what it is here. What is Ichiro's greatest achievement? You can text your vote to 42951. And here are your choices for this evening. MVP and Rookie of the Year in 2001. That kind of stands out. Single season hits leader in 2004. That was a record, 262 hits. 10 Gold Gloves, 200 hits in his first 10 seasons, or a 10-time All-Star. Those are some tough choices to make as far as Ichiro's career is concerned.
I remember facing him in 2001, and he came into Fenway Park when I was playing with the Red Sox, and I could not get him out. I remember I threw him a really good backdoor slider, and he hit it off the wall at Fenway.
You got him out one time. He was 2 for 3.
2 for 3,
yeah.
Yes. He got himself out probably.
The first pitch to Cano is swung on and missed. Robinson went 5 for 18 in Oakland. Now, if you're the Yankees coming into this series, you've already got somewhat of a jolt today by finding yourself with a new teammate. But the Yankees maybe need a jolt after 4 losses in Oakland. That pitch is high. That's a ball and a strike. I always thought it was tough when you lost ball games by 1 run, but 4 in a row, that's 4 times as tough. I almost wanted to get just annihilated in a ball game. Cano hits one in the air towards left field. Coming on is Wells, and he is there, makes a catch for 1 out. And the reason why I say that is because when you get annihilated, beaten by 9, 10 runs, you had no chance in that game. Right now, let's check out the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. We're here in Seattle where the skies were cloudy all day. 66 degrees, humidity 59%, the wind is calm. And the forecast is cloudy. With the roof open here at Safeco Field, beautiful Safeco Field, I might add. Here's Mark Teixeira, and he'll take a pitch in there for a call strike. And David, this might be the #1 pitcher's ballpark in the American League.
Yeah, I think without a doubt, it'd be just because of the size of it. Certainly hard to hit homers here. The weather is a factor.
Air's heavy. Well, you might have been able to take a run off your ERA here. Teixeira lines one, and it's going to be by the second baseman Ackley and on into right field for a base hit. The Mariners had to shift on, but Teixeira went right through it. First, make that second hit of the night for the Yankees.
Well, Teixeira just says, if I hit the ball hard enough, I don't care about your shift. And certainly that strategy worked here. See, it looks like a slow pitch softball game when you got an extra outfielder out there roaming.
There's Carlos Peguero making the play in right field. He's taking over for Ichiro. I don't see a Peguero meter as of yet.
Good luck, kid.
Good luck. Raul Ibanez, former Mariner, steps in. Ibanez with 12 home runs, 41 runs batted in. 1 on, 1 out for the Yankees. We're in the second inning at Safeco Field in Seattle. Opening game of a 3-game series. And the first pitch to Ibanez is in there for a strike. Ibanez had some good years here with the Seattle Mariners. He had over 100 runs batted in 3 years in a row. And his best year was 2006. He drove in 123 runs with 33 homers. Pitch is fouled at the plate. Count quickly goes to no balls and 2 strikes. And I asked him about playing here at Safeco Field. And he mentioned the fact that a lot of the players can, just like I said, complain how tough it is to hit home runs here. But he looked at the spacious outfield. He said there's more room to get hits. And that's a positive way of looking at it.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy he is. So well respected everywhere he's been.
Another foul ball at the plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
So that's right. We've got 3 ex-Mariners in the lineup. The Yankees do tonight.
Alex Rodriguez, Raul Ibanez, and of course the newest, Ichiro.
And 1 in the bullpen. Soriano, right?
And a starter as well. Going to be pitching tomorrow night. Freddie
Keep going.
Garcia.
So
yeah.
5.
Yeah, Soriano is with Seattle. In fact, he was the one who was talking to Ichiro in the clubhouse. Ground ball foul. He greeted Ichiro with a hug and told him stretches at 5:30. Don't be late.
That's funny.
And it is funny.
So Freddie Garcia too. So there's 5 ex-Mariners. You think you could talk about a King Felix too? Well, while we're here.
You know what? I bet you his name has come up in trade talks. Count still 0-2, and it's a ground ball. Nice stop by Smoke. He throws it to shortstop Ryan. Back onto the pitcher Millwood, and it's a 3-6-1 double play that erases the Yankee hopes here in the second. On to the bottom half of the second inning. No score. You're looking at the manager, Eric Wedge of the Seattle Mariners, his second year. Last year they went 65-97. It's time to check out our Dunkin' Donuts team scouting report on the Mariners, David.
Well, we'll see. That you know what that means. That's just they just can't get the offense going out here. They have the lowest on-base percentage in the American League, and of course, Felix in the pen. Yeah, those guys are pretty good. Their bullpen is excellent, and of course, King Felix speaks for himself. One of the best right-handers in the game, and they can catch it too. #1 defense. Now that they've lost Ichiro, though, that defense is probably going to be a little bit diminished. But they do catch the ball, and they throw it well. They catch it and throw it, and they just can't hit it enough.
Mariners as a team are hitting .219 in July. Here's the center fielder Michael Saunders. He'll lead it off in the bottom of the second inning. And he fouls the first pitch. And overall, when you look at what the Mariners have done, and this is kind of strange. They lead the American League in runs scored on the road. But at home here in Seattle, they're hitting 196 as a team. It's like they can't wait to get on the road so they score some runs. The 0-1 pitch is high and away, and it's a ball and a strike.
Yeah, they got that one backwards, right? It's supposed to be the other way around. You're supposed to feel really good at home.
Kuroda with the 1-1 pitch. And it's inside for a ball.
You know, Kenny, you and I were talking before the game, too. When, you know, the old Kingdome, that was just the opposite. That was all offense. That was like a pinball machine playing in that ballpark.
That's why I loved it so much. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It is low, scooped out of the dirt by Russell Martin. The count goes to 3-1. Home road differential. At home, they're 10 games under 500. On the road, just 3 games under. And look at the runs per game. Under 3 runs per game here at Safeco Field. Bouncing ball to second. Nice high hop for Cano. He throws on to Teixeira, and there's 1 man out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Saunders is retired.
Well, I must admit that I got a little joy when I saw the Kingdome implode.
Really?
Yeah, I was not sad to see that place go.
Well, that's maybe why I had a tear come to my eye. Yeah, but that was probably my favorite ballpark to hit in. Artificial surface, you hit the ball hard on the ground, you're going to get a hit. In the air, the fences were close. Outside of center field, you had yourself a home run. First pitch to Justin Smoak is a curveball that drops in for a strike. Smoak is 0 for his last 16. He does lead the Mariners in home runs with 13. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. And Smoak kind of exemplifies what's going on with the Mariners hitting at home. He's 160 in this ballpark this year. The 0-2 pitch, and he hits on the ground to Cano. They're going to try him again. The same result. 2 up and 2 down. Carlos Peguero, the right fielder, will step in. He takes over in right field with the trade of Ichiro to the Yankees. He had some numbers in the minor leagues at AAA Tacoma in the Pacific Coast League. 18 home runs, 41 runs batted in 49 games. So maybe the Mariners are trying to add a little power. He's certainly big enough.
Right on top of home plate, too.
And he'll take the first pitch in there for a strike.
I mean, he's a big kid. He's standing right on top of the dish. Watch his hands. He's almost in the strike zone with his bat.
I can tell you would move him off immediately. Work him over. Little number in the home plate area, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. That's what you were talking about yesterday.
Well, you know, it's true. I mean, it's something you need to make hitters aware of, that you're not afraid to throw inside off the plate. Now, certainly you want to be careful up around the head area. You know, I mean, those days are gone. The Bob Gibson, days are gone. But you could see how close he is to home plate.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and it's outside for a ball. You know what? I think he's kind of defeating the purpose because he's a big guy. He's got long arms, so he's got a good reach. Now, if he's just going up there trying to pull everything, I can see being tight on the plate.
You see where his hands are almost like right on in the inside corner.
There's that move, that brush back pitch, and it's 2-2. Not quite Gibson-like, but close enough to get his attention.
It's excellent pitch, and see if he goes right back to the splitter down and away. Double up in. Russell Martin sees what I see.
High and away, 3-2. I remember interviewing Bob Gibson a few years back, and I asked about the fact that his reputation for hitting batters, and without a smile, he said, "It wasn't my fault they didn't move fast enough."
You're right. That was their mentality. It's your job to get out of the way.
3-2 pitch is fouled back and out of play, and then quickly I changed the subject.
He's still mean, surly.
That's part of being a competitor, I guess. It gets you into the Hall of Fame with 251 wins.
Great competitor. Russell Martin going to stay inside. Kuroda shakes him off.
You know, and Bob Gibson, too, is the reason why they changed the height of the mound with that 1.12 ERA. That's the all-time record in 1968. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Curveball swung on it, missed strike 3, and Kuroda sets the Mariners down in order. We're going to the 3rd inning. It'll be Jones, Ichiro, and Russell Martin coming up next inning. All that was done in a Seattle uniform. You can see Ichiro, he'll be on deck. Andrew Jones is going to lead it off, and wearing number 31 now as opposed to number 51 when he's in his 11.5 years in a Mariners uniform. On our Lincoln scoreboard, no score as Andrew Jones swings and misses strike 1. Going to get into that number that Ichiro is wearing tonight. On Twitter today, when the news broke that he'd been traded to the Yankees, almost immediately all the fans wanted to know what number was Ichiro going to wear. As Andrew Jones takes a pitch up and in. And when he comes up, I'm sure he'll get a rousing ovation from the Seattle fans. But he chose number 31. The 1-1 pitch is fouled at the plate. Now, he mentioned during his press conference that he knew that number 51 belonged to Bernie Williams. And he knew what that number meant not only to Bernie but to the Yankee organization. So he said it would be hard for him to ask for that number. And he said he wanted a new number and make it his own in New York. So that's why he's wearing number 31. Even after all the success with the number 51. Swung on and missed, and Andrew Jones is struck out.
Batting 8th, the right fielder, number 31, Ichiro Suzuki.
The traditional bow of respect. Sayonara Suzuki. An appropriate sign here tonight in Seattle. His first ever at bat in anything other than a Mariner uniform. 2,533 hits as a Mariner. And that pitch is in there for a strike. Since coming to the big leagues back in 2001, nobody has had more hits than Ichiro. Hitting at 261 this year. Line drive, center field, base hit for Ichiro Suzuki. What's new? And he's on with 1 out. Now, Joe Girardi had mentioned that he wanted to bat him down in the order to try and enliven the bottom part of the order, and he does so with a booming single.
Classic Ichiro, reaching out. Fastball middle away, lunging, reaching, and a line drive.
Certainly you wouldn't teach anybody how to hit this way, but he's been able to do it better than anybody else. The pitch to Russell Martin is over the corner for a strike. So Ichiro on with 1 out. Of course, he brings speed. He has stolen 15 bases in 17 attempts. Maybe not the speedster he once was, but picks his spots a little bit better now, but a high percentage. And he's got a good lead over at first. And he's going to draw a throw from Kevin Millwood.
Would you see that look on his face? Boy, a little bounce in his step. Of course he's got that. You know, speaking from experience, when I was traded in my career and you go to a pennant race or whatever, you can't help but feel rejuvenated.
The 0-1 pitch on the way, and Martin takes it low and away, a ball and a strike. And especially when you play against a team that you've been traded from.
Well, yeah, you just add a little fuel to the fires. The Ichi meter, now 106. And number 1 for the Yankees.
One ball, 1 strike. The count on Russell Martin with 1 out. There he goes. The pitch is low. The throw to second is not in time. A stolen base for Ichiro. His 16th overall on the season and his first as a Yankee.
You knew he wanted to go. It was a giant lead. He's just dying to go, and easily under the tag. Good jump. No wasted effort. He could still run.
In his final game as a Mariner yesterday in Tampa Bay, he stole a couple of bases. So he's at second now. 2 balls and a strike on Martin. Ball is hit hard, but right at the second baseman Ackley, who knocks it down, throws on the first for the out. On the play, Ichiro moves over to third. 2 down now, and the captain, Derek Jeter, will come up.
It's just hard to explain the adrenaline rush you get, you know, when you're I was traded a few times in pennant races, and you just look at him, look at the look on his face, the bounce in his step, and of course, you know, obviously it's his first game as a Yankee and normal adrenaline rush, but that's going to carry through. And you know, this is exactly what he wanted. And you know, Kenny, you and I talked about it, that Ichiro asked for that trade. He actually went to the Mariners front office and said, hey, this is a young team, you know, I need to go somewhere else. And he couldn't have scripted it any better. He wanted to be on the Yankees, and you could tell by his body language how excited he is to be a Yankee.
Yeah, he had mentioned to the front office people here in Seattle, Howard Lincoln and Chuck Armstrong, as Jeter takes a pitch up high for a ball, that he would like to be traded. Howard Lincoln's the chairman and the chief executive officer, and Chuck Armstrong is the president and chief operating officer. And that was around the All-Star break. And I talked to Jack Zarensik, who is the GM here in Seattle. And Jack had mentioned it's been in the works for a few weeks as Jeter lines one foul, and it's a ball and a strike. So DJ Mitchell comes to the Mariners, and I think they're getting themselves a pretty good young pitcher.
We liked him in spring training. He had one of the best sinkers in the organization, and with this big ballpark out here in Seattle, he might do very well out here.
Yeah, there's the most hits since 2001. Ichiro on top, Derek Jeter second, Pujols to follow. Pitches low and away, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Jeter. So I think Brian Cashman, once he realized that Brett Gardner probably would not be back this year and needed somebody with some speed, not only to energize the base pass for the Yankees, but defensively as well. And he got a 10-time Gold Glover. Bouncing ball towards the middle. Ackley on the backhand. Going to be a tough play, but he makes it. Throws out Jeter for the out. And the Yankees are retired here in the 3rd inning. Ichiro comes up with a base hit, but does not score. On to the bottom of the 3rd. No score here in Seattle.
Welcome back to Yankees baseball. I'm Meredith Morakovitz. It comes as little or no surprise that most of the talk around the clubhouse today was about the trade for Ichiro Suzuki. It was funny, I was around some of the guys as they found out, and when Russell Martin heard the news, he said, we traded for Ichiro Suzuki? I didn't know that. When did that happen? He actually thought his teammates were kidding with him, pulling his leg a little bit. Derek Jeter has actually had the opportunity to spend some time with Ichiro in some All-Star games, and he said he's always been a guy that he's admired from afar. It's nice now that he's a part of the team and a part of the organization. They really believe this guy could help them. And Brian Cashman said on a conference call that they weren't actively looking for outfield help. It wasn't until, Kenny, something that you alluded to, they received word that Brett Gardner needed surgery, that they actually went out, and he really went to work on the phone lines and tried to see what was out there. This deal happened pretty quickly, and they really replaced what they thought they lost in Brett Gardner and that speed and defense, and you saw that firsthand, that speed on the base pass in the top of the 3rd inning. Joe Girardi really feels as though the change of scenery can help Ichiro. His numbers down a little bit offensively this year as opposed to what they've been in years past. He's going to play primarily left field when Nick Swisher comes back, and ironically the last time he remembers playing left field is 2001 in the playoffs when the Mariners played the Yankees.
Thank you very much, Meredith, for that report. Of course, Meredith, we're all over the Ichiro situation today, and we'll have more for you on the post-game show, I'm sure. Meredith Morakovitz, along with Nancy Newman and Jack Curry. So stay tuned for that following the game. In fact, it was our Jack Curry who was all over it once again. He broke the story that the Yankees were going to receive Ichiro in a deal with the Seattle Mariners. Jack, who broke the story when Andy Pettit was coming back in spring training. He must have a hotline somewhere. Full count on Brendan Ryan, the shortstop. He's leading off.
Wakes up with his ear to the ground.
Yeah. I used to do that too, but it's a different situation. Ball's popped up. Second baseman Cano is there and makes the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Now back to the top of the order for the Seattle Mariners. Dustin Ackley. Ackley led off the ball game against Kuroda by flying out to center field in the bottom of the first inning. Now, Ackley had a pretty good rookie season, but this year not nearly as productive. Is hitting at just .225. Takes a pitch for a strike.
He's got some talent, you know. He's one of the untouchables. The Mariners will not trade this kid. And what a play he made to end the last inning up the middle. Saved a run.
He's 0 for his last 11, hitting just .156 in the month of July.
You know, the Mariners have talent. They have good young talent. They just need to be patient with them. Give them a chance to develop.
Well, they're in a pretty tough division as well when you're dealing with the Texas Rangers and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And we just saw what the Oakland A's can do to you with their pitching staff. 2-1 pitch is outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike as Kuroda falls behind. Kuroda did beat these Mariners on May 11th at Yankee Stadium. Ball 4. And it's a 1-out walk to Dustin Ackley. First walk of the night by Hiroki Kuroda. In that game on the 11th of May, Kuroda went 7 innings, 6 hits, just gave up 2 runs. And the Yankees won by a score of 6-2. Here's Casper Wells, who doubled into the left field corner his first time.
He showed a quick bat. Kuroda tried to bust him inside and got the pitch in there. And Casper Wells just quick snatched him right down the line for a double. So it'll be interesting to see how they attack him here.
This is his 30th game since being recalled from AAA, and he's hitting over .290 since being recalled. Drills this one deep to left field, but it's twisting foul. A loud strike off the bat of Casper Wells.
Ackley could run too. He's kind of doing a little house, you know, a little gardening there.
He's 9 for 11, 9 out of 11 this year in stolen bases. Last 10 starts, 6-1, 2.61. Good pitching by Kuroda lately. Toss over the first to check on Ackley. In fact, Kuroda hasn't lost since May the 21st. I should say he has 1 loss since May the 21st.
Yeah, Atlanta got him on the 19th. But a decent outing. He still pitched 7 innings, gave up 4 earned runs in that game.
Ackley's not going, and the pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. I think one thing we've seen from Kuroda, David, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but his slider has been a lot better. The first portion of the season just rolling up there. He would hang a few, but lately these sliders have been tight and down and away from the righties.
You can see right at the last minute, good depth. Looks like it's going to be a fastball right there. Completely fools Casper Wells.
Yeah, once he's found it, it makes it tougher for the right-handed hitters to deal with him. A ball and 2 strikes.
Another one right there in a good spot for 0-2. And you're right, Ken. And even in spring training, I remember talking to Joe Girardi about the adjustment that Kuroda was going to have to make in the American League East. And we talked exactly about that slider and breaking stuff and sort of that get me over style that you can get away with at Dodger Stadium that doesn't work at Yankee Stadium.
Toss over to first, and Ackley dives back safely. Mariners have a couple of players in their order that will run. Ackley's one of them. Seager's another, and Michael Saunders has 14 stolen bases for Eric Wedge. Eric Wedge, the former manager of the Cleveland Indians, finished first one year, won the Central. Another throw to first. Ackley's back.
You look up and down the Mariners lineup. I mean, there is young talent. You could see why it was time for Ichiro to go. But
he knew it himself.
Eric Wedge, another former catcher that's a big league manager.
swing and a miss. Looked like a splitter or a changeup, and Wells is out of there. Tremendous pitch from Hiroki Kuroda. Picks up his second strikeout.
See the gloves down and away. I think that's probably another slider. Right on top of it. You can see it looks like a fastball the whole way. Good deception. Good release point, just like his fastball's release point.
Couple of strikeouts, and now John Jaso, the number 3 hitter, will come up. Jaso reached on a fielder's choice. Pitch is low for a ball.
Kuroda's got quick feet. You know, he's kind of kept Ackley honest over at first because of his quick move to first. He's not all that quick to home plate, but he will give you a quick throw to first.
Runner goes. Pitch is on the way. It's low. Russell Martin's throw to second is not in time. Ackley picks up a stolen base. He's down double figures. That's his 10th steal of the season. So he's down at second with 2 outs.
Good jump, slow delivery. Martin has to rush the throw. You see the delivery, the high leg kick from Kuroda. That's what first base coaches want to see. They can time that. They know that a good base runner can take advantage of that.
So a runner in scoring position in a 2-0 count. It's a ground ball to the right side and on through for a base hit. They're going to wave Ackley home. Here's Ichiro's throw to the plate. It is not in time. And the Mariners take a 1-0 lead. John Jaso delivers a 2-out single, and the stolen base paid off for the Mariners.
Well, right on cue, the minute the stolen base is done, Jaso gets a good ball to hit. Finds the hole, and Ichiro, we're going to find out. Yes, he's still got that cannon, but he would have needed more than a cannon to get that throw there in time. Because Ackley runs well, Ichiro's playing deep, just now getting to the ball, so really no chance.
So the Mariners break through first. They take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jesus Montero, the designated hitter, cleanup hitter, comes up for the Mariners. Runner goes. The throw to second. Not in time. A stolen base for Jaso, and that is a first. Jaso's first stolen base of the season. And I think you're right about the Mariners taking advantage of the delivery to the plate by Hiroki Kuroda.
And always a good time to go, too. Right after the pitcher just gave up an RBI single. Probably a little bit distracted. A big, slow delivery. And that's the time to go.
So another runner in scoring position. The pitch was a strike to Montero. Ball inside, 1-1.
Maybe closer than we thought. Jaso, not the best slide in the world there either.
Looking at a sprained ankle.
More of a thump than a slide.
Low and away to throw to second, and Jaso gets back. Also, Martin didn't get him the first time. He was trying to get him the second time around.
He's mad. He's mad. He wants to get him. Jaso from one catcher to another.
It's almost as if it's against the unwritten rule. Catchers shouldn't steal against each other, huh?
A little conviction behind that throw.
Montero hits one into right field, and this is going to be a foul ball. Just foul. That almost was run number 2 for the Mariners here in the 3rd inning.
But that's all right field. Montero's swing, and that's just about 2 inches from
first base umpire Manny Gonzalez with the call. Now, when Montero's with the Yankees, a brief time he was with the Yankees, he had a lot of power to right field. And you can see the mark right there. There's, what do you give you, 2 or 3 inches there, David?
That's like Wimbledon. You got to go to the field judge or the Cyclops.
The Cyclops. Just got a piece of that slider. Count remains 2-2. Yeah, Montero showed a lot of power in the right center at Yankee Stadium. And that got the Yankee fans all inspired that he was going to be the next big hitter out of the Yankee farm system.
He had a swing built for Yankee Stadium, and watching him in batting practice today, he was hitting some bombs to right field, but that's his swing. And you got to figure that the Yankees are going to try to pound him in. You almost have to. Fastballs in, and then off-speed stuff down.
You got your game plan set, don't you, on all these hitters?
You have to pitch inside to Montero. I mean, even though, you know, he's relatively young, we've seen enough from him, both last year as a Yankee and this year, to know what he's trying to do. He's all his powers to right field. Be surprised if the Yankees don't bust him in here.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2 strikeouts for Kuroda this inning, but the Mariners break on top. They lead 1-0. We are in beautiful Seattle, the Emerald City. Here's Curtis Granderson. Yankees down 1-0. We're in the 4th. Granderson struck out swinging in the 1st. And he takes a pitch in there for a call strike from the veteran Kevin Millwood. Millwood's last win was May the 23rd. That's 9 starts ago. He's had 3 losses and 6 no decisions since then. Granderson squares around the bunt, takes one high. That had the third baseman Seager on the move. The shift is on for Curtis.
Well, Millwood hasn't had a lot of luck this year, but his arm speed is definitely back. He's throwing the ball pretty good.
Granderson squares the bunt again, takes a pitch low, 2 balls and a strike. What do you think about Curtis? He was serious about those attempts. 3 were strikes. He was going to bunt them. Leading off the inning, Yankees down by 1. I don't think he's bunting here. He's ahead on the count now. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Granderson, Rodriguez, and Cano for the Yankees here in the 4th inning. Down by a run. Call, strike 3. Millwood dots the inside corner, and Granderson is struck out for the 2nd time.
91 miles an hour, right on the corner. Catcher doesn't have to move the glove. You know, that's the thing with Millwood. You know, he missed some time and he had some arm problems, and you know, we talked about, you know, he's such a veteran, 37 years old, and you know, he's throwing the ball 85 miles an hour a couple of years ago, and people thought he was done. He's back up there. He's topped out at 92, 91 with that last pitch.
Alex Rodriguez taking all the way, and he takes a strike. A-Rod grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to end the top of the 1st inning.
When a veteran pitcher gets his arm speed back, he knows what to do with it because he knows how to pitch.
Ball is fouled straight back and quickly. A-Rod's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. A couple of former Mariners. Ichiro, of course, newest Yankee, and Freddie Garcia gets to start tomorrow night against King Felix. Felix Hernandez will start for the Mariners here against the Yankees. 0-2 pitch, and it's hit well to right field. Going back is Figueroa, still going back. This one is off the top of the wall. A-Rod rounded first. Here's the throw to second, and he is in there safely. He had to hustle. Figueroa showed a strong throwing arm as he got the ball back in quickly, but A-Rod with a 2-base hit just missed the home run.
Well, indeed he did. It's a high cutter. Alex all over it. Thinking maybe right there it's going to get out of here. It doesn't. And Figueroa doing an Ichiro impersonation. If Ryan comes up with that ball, Alex is probably out.
So A-Rod's at second with his 14th double of the year. And they'll bring up Robinson Cano. And the Mariners have the shift on for Cano. Most teams do not do this with Cano at the plate because he hits the ball so well all over the field. And he takes a fastball high and away for ball 1.
A little surprised.
Cano's first time out, he flew out to left field. 317 with 22 homers.
On the infield, they're playing him to pull. In the outfield, center field is slightly the other way.
Two balls and no strikes. You know, David, sometimes the way a team sets up defensively when you're hitting,
these three here and the outfielders on this side over here,
it kind of tells you how a team's going to pitch you. If you pay attention, to me, if the center fielder's a little off over towards the left field side and you're hitting left-handed, they're going to keep the ball away from you. At least that's their plan. At 3-0, and I guess they kind of figure anything else he's going to hit on the ground, he's going to pull.
Yeah, you know, that's just straight charting. You know, on the more times than not on the ground, he pulls the ball, and then a lot of times in the air, he'll hit it more the other way. But there is a huge hole at shortstop. I certainly have seen Robbie hit hard ground balls in that shortstop region before. So, I mean, you've got a lot of room there.
Count is 3-0, and he's taking all the way, and it's ball 4. I don't think Millwood wanted too much to do with Robinson Cano in that at bat. Hitting the road, take the Yankees with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees out-of-market game live and online on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, that's baseball everywhere. Tonight it's baseball at Safeco Field. The Yankees trailing 1-0, but they have 2 men on and 1 out here in the 4th inning. And Mark Teixeira, who leads the Yankees in runs batted in with 65, is at the plate. Teixeira had a single his first time. Off the outside corner, and it's ball 1. With the double play in order, the second baseman Ackley is not in short right field. He's playing a deep second base, though. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Teixeira. Mark's had a good road trip. 6 for 17. You can see what he's done against Millwood. 1 home run, but hitting at 370 now. Got a good count to hit. 2-0 pitch is drilled over first. This is in there for a hit. Alex Rodriguez will score easily from second. Cano's on his way to third. Teixeira's in at second with a double, and it is a 1-1 ball game. So Teixeira continues his good hitting on this road trip, and his good hitting against Kevin Millwood.
Well, this is what you're supposed to do on 2-0. Get your pitch and don't miss it. Even though he's a little out in front of this 2-0 fastball, he's on it enough to keep it fair and get a double out of it down the line.
Double number 22 on the season for Mark Teixeira. Still only 1 out. The Yankees have runners at second and third, and it'll bring up Raul Ibanez, who grounded into a 3-6-1 double play in the second inning. Line drive, left field, base hit. Cano will score. Teixeira is going to be held at third as Wells gets the ball back in. Give Ibanez an RBI single. It's 2-1 Yankees.
Well, smart hitting by Ibanez. First pitch out off the plate, stays with it. Not too much. He knows this ballpark. What did he tell you before, Ken? There's a lot of outfield out there. A lot of room for hits. And that was a good pitch by Millwood, running off the plate, too.
You know what? He grounded into a double play his first time. Maybe it was a sinker or so, and he's looking, well, I'll throw one here. I'll go with it. Meeting on the mound breaks up. As Millwood. Pitching coach is Carl Willis. Been around a long time.
Yeah, he was in Cleveland with Eric Wedge as well. So the tandem came out here to Seattle.
First and third, 1 out. The Yankees have taken a 2-1 lead. And they've put together 6 hits. 3 of them in this inning. Here is Andrew Jones. Andrew struck out in the third. And he's taking all the way, and it's in there for a called strike. Another foul. Got a piece on Andrew Jones, and the count is 0-2. Yankees have scored 2. They're threatening for more here in the 4th inning. On deck is Ichiro Suzuki. First night as a Yankee, he's 1 for 1 thus far.
And got his uniform dirty with the stolen base.
Low and outside on the slider to Andrew Jones. It's a ball with 2 strikes. You can see the all-time Gold Glove leaders. 20 of them in the outfield tonight for the Yankees. Ground ball towards the hole and on through for a base hit for Andrew Jones. Teixeira scores. Ibanez stops at second, and it's now a 3-1 ball game. Andrew Jones with an RBI single.
Andrew Jones on the ground. Just past the diving Sager. Millwood looking for the ground ball. Got the pitch down, trying to get a double play. That ball had what Paul O'Neill talked about when he drew those glasses on his bat, the seeing eye. That ball had eyes.
You know, get overspin and the balls get through the infield. Here's Ichiro single to center, stole the base, as David said. Now in an RBI situation, swings, little looper towards center field, drifting back exactly to second baseman. He'll make the catch, and that is out number 2. Ichiro swinging at the first pitch, pops out to the second baseman. So 2 down now, and Russell Martin will get a chance. Martin grounded to second, and that was in the 3rd inning. Martin with his season-long struggles, hitting at 179. He is 1 for 9 on this road trip, but the one hit was a home run in Oakland.
He now has 10. As the Yankees have 7 players in their lineup with 10 or more home runs.
Is it 7 or 8?
I think in the lineup tonight.
In the lineup tonight. You're not counting Nick Swisher, who's out of the lineup.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the 8th.
One ball and no strikes on Martin. 2 men on, 2 men out. Yankees have scored, and this pitch is fouled back. I was going to say the Yankees have scored 3 times here in the 4th to erase a 1-0 deficit. Martin hits one in the air to right field. Peguero is there, and he makes the catch. That's the final out for the Yankees here in the 4th inning, but they scored 3 times, 3 runs on 4 hits, and now lead 3-1. Here's Kyle Seager, and Seager takes a pitch in there for a strike. Seager flied out to, or I should say he lined out to Ichiro in the bottom of the 1st inning. 3-1 Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees trying to break a 4-game losing streak. Ground ball to the right side. Teixeira slides into it, comes up with it, then make the play himself at first, and there's 1 out. By the way, when the Yankees lost their 4th game yesterday, they were the last team in the major leagues. Every other team in the major leagues had lost at least 4 in a row. The Yankees were the last team to lose 4 in a row. Tough loss yesterday in extra innings. But now they have joined all the other clubs with at least a 4-game losing streak. 1 out for Michael Saunders, the center fielder. Saunders has a 5-game hitting streak going. And he's taking the first pitch, and it's a strike. Saunders has made 75 starts, make that 76 now in center field. He's from British Columbia, Canadian. Off the bat, foul tip. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. One of the best Canadian players ever is a British Columbian, and Larry Walker.
Larry Walker with some kind of talent.
Oh, man.
Saunders isn't your prototypical center fielder. I mean, kind of tall and lanky, but he's got some power, too.
In the 3rd, ball and 2 strikes. Larry Walker, big, strong, fast, powerful. MVP when he was with the Colorado Rockies. I saw him when he broke in with the Montreal Expos. And he just got too expensive for that team. They had to let him go.
Great guy with a great sense of humor, too.
1-2 pitch, and it's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think he lives in Florida now, if I'm not mistaken. Saunders takes another pitch outside. Count had been 0-2. Now it's a full count. Payoff pitch is on the way. And it's called strike 3 as Kuroda paints the inside corner. Fans come out to Yankee Stadium on Monday, July 30th, when the Yankees take on the Orioles. The first 18,000 guests 21 and older receive an insulated can cooler courtesy of Living Language. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit Yankee Stadium ticket windows, Yankee Clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Handsome cooler for you.
18,000?
21 and older.
Man, that is a lot of, yeah, that's a lot of unloaded boxes there.
Are you volunteering?
Yeah, I'll take one, though.
Here's Justin Smoke. He's 0 for 1 with a grounded to Cano. And he checks his swing and takes one maybe a little bit low. And it's a ball. Now he went around too far. According to third base umpire Jerry Davis, who's the crew chief, and was very emphatic with that call. So Smoke is now up there with an 0-2 count.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tried to get him to chase another one, wouldn't do it. Ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on for the Mariners here in the 4th. Born in Goose Creek, South Carolina, University of South Carolina, all-time leader in home runs and runs batted in. 11th overall pick by the Texas Rangers. Call, strike 3. Have to get the rest of that resume next time up. 5 strikeouts now for Kuroda. Mariners go in order in the 4th. On to the 5th inning. Top of the lineup, and Derek Jeter coming up. And for the Yankees, well, they don't have a homer tonight, but they do have 3 runs on 7 hits. And also we have a Cadillac scoreboard. There it is. Yankees leading 3-1. Top of the 5th. Derek Jeter's going to lead it off here. He has a single and is grounded out. Takes a pitch outside for a ball.
Did you see that talk that Dustin Pedroia had with John Lester in the dugout the other day during that blowout?
When the Blue Jays were hammering him?
Yes.
There's a pitch for a strike. No, I didn't see that.
Wow, it was something. I mean, he was really imploring him to keep going in this game and stay in. You can see Pedroia is obviously that team leader, but Boston, wow, really lost right now. Just hard to explain some of the talent they have on that team.
Pitch to Jeter's fouled off, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. The Red Sox came into tonight at 500. And they lost 9-1, so they now are drop a game below 500. And depending on what the Yankees do, if the Yankees win, Red Sox will be 10.5 games behind.
Well, Bobby Valentine left Lester in that game for 11 earned runs.
1-2 pitch to Jeter, and it hits the corner. Call strike 3. Millwood strikes him out. 4 strikeouts now for Kevin Millwood. First time Derek Jeter has been called out on strikes tonight.
Well, look at the target. Pretty good pitch.
For you, maybe. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I do know that pitchers win everything, David, since you're a former pitcher.
That was close. That was borderline. You know, there's a lot of pitches like that throughout the game that are borderline that could go either way.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Here's Granderson. But I'm not going to give you all of them. This pitch is hit high in the air to right field. Peguero going back. He's got room. And makes the catch in front of the warning track, and that is out number 2. Right now, we're going to go back to our studios where Nancy Newman is standing by. Nancy?
Alex Rodriguez.
So yesterday it was Jimmy Rollins with a game-winning hit, a walk-off hit for the Phillies. They get another one tonight and win 7-6 over the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's Alex Rodriguez. And he takes a pitch for a strike. Alex started the Yankee rally last inning with a double off the top of the wall in right field, his 14th double of the year. He came around to score eventually. The Yankees' first run, they added 2 more, now lead 3-1. 0-1 pitch, he has good swing and fouled it back. Now we know how much A-Rod gets booed here. Same thing in Texas. To me, as a visiting player, that's like a compliment. It's almost as if the fans, you know, they don't like you, but the fact is that they don't want you to do anything. That gives you some incentive to do something and try and quiet them. A-Rod quieted him somewhat with a double last inning. Look out, he backs up, and it's a ball with 2 strikes.
Well, that's a great point, Kenny. You know, you have to look at it that way. I think Reggie Jackson had a big quote about that at some point in his career. They
said they don't boo nobodies. Curveball hit high in the air to center field. Saunders drifts back a few steps. He turns now, makes the catch, and the Yankees go quietly here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-2-3 for Kevin Millwood on to the bottom of the 5th. 3-1 Yankees.
We're going to take a quick look at the K-by-K brought to you by Mazda on Hiroki Kuroda tonight, and he has been sharp. You see a little slider there, another good one down. Slider missing, swing and misses, and then the swing back fastballs to lefties. Really keeping him honest.
Well, here we go. Bottom of the 5th inning, and Carlos Peguero swings at the first pitch and misses it. He was a strikeout victim, the first strikeout victim for Kuroda. That was in the 2nd inning. It looks as though Peguero is going to get the first shot at playing right field with Ichiro being traded to the Yankees. But the count is now ball and a strike. On the Cadillac scoreboard, it's 3-1 Yankees, bottom of the 5th. Yankees trying to break through on the West Coast here. The last time they were out here, they went to Oakland and Anaheim and went 4-2. Big swing, and it's fouled back. All with 2 strikes. Didn't get cheated. Ball and 2 strikes. Or make that 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kuroda is really also, in addition to, as Kenny mentioned, his improving slider, it's sort of that Greg Maddux-like 2-seamer that runs back.
Ground ball hit hard. Teixeira comes up with it, and he's going to do the honors himself at first. He beats Peguero to the bag, and there's 1 out. That ball was hit hard. 1 down for the Mariners here in the 5th inning.
Well, Peguero's got some tools. You see Teixeira almost knocked his glove off. And he says, I'm going to take this. And Peguero's got some wheels, too. He's going to give him a little challenge here right at the end. But Teixeira easily gets there. But we've seen Peguero's arm in right field. He's got a rocket. We've seen the bat speed. He's got some pop. And he runs fairly well. So there's Ichiro's replacement right there.
And he's big enough that nobody's going to mess with him.
Be good in a bench clearing brawl, too.
Here's the shortstop, Ryan. And there's a good slider, but it's outside for ball 1. You mentioned tomorrow's matchup has Felix Hernandez against Freddie Garcia. Here's ball 2. Now both pitchers from Venezuela, and King Felix, his idol growing up was Freddie Garcia. And they kind of text back and forth, and they realize that they're going to match up against each other. There's a pitch for a strike, and it's 2-1. And Freddie texts back, well, it'll be fun. King Felix, of course, one of the better pitchers, Cy Young Award winner. But he's matched up against Garcia, who he rooted for as a kid. Great stop by A-Rod at third. The throw is low, but scooped out by Teixeira, and there are 2 down. Nice play by Alex Rodriguez.
Indeed, Brendan Ryan trying to sneak it through in the hole. Alex diving, whirling, and a pickup on a short hop from Teixeira, who is excellent at that play. Yeah, Alex almost loses it on the snow cone. Got to hurry, and you got a Gold Glover over there to help you out on a short hop.
2 outs, nobody on. Here's Dustin Ackley, and Ackley takes one off the plate for ball 1. Ackley scored the Mariners' run in the bottom of the 3rd inning. After he walked, he stole second, scored on a single by John Jaso. Pitch is fouled off beyond the Yankee dugout, and it's a ball and a strike.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned about the pitching matchup tomorrow night, and you know, Freddie Garcia he's the all-time wins leader in Venezuelan history. So when you think about all the Latin American pitchers, you know, in Dominican Republic and Cuba.
There's a call strike. Kuroda jumps ahead on the count 1-2.
Fernando Valenzuela in Mexico. Freddie Garcia, he's the #1 guy from Venezuela.
I think he's just ahead of Johan Santana. 1-2 pitch, and that is low for a ball. Fans Tomorrow starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed. Internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. There's your matchup, Freddie Garcia and Felix Hernandez. Call, strike 3, the spillover fastball. Strikes out Dustin Ackley. 1, 2, 3, 7 in a row retired by Hiroki Kuroda. Time for another look at tonight's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question, what is Ichiro's greatest achievement? And here's how you voted. Wow, 46%, 200 hits in his first 10 seasons. That's pretty tough to do. 19% MVP and Rookie of the Year in 2001. That's been done before, though. Freddie Lynn did that. The pitch is fouled off by Cano. Leading off here for the Yankees in the 6th inning. Cano is fly to left and walked. So 200 hits, 10 years. That's pretty tough to do.
Some staying power.
Durability, too, for that matter. Not missing many games. Ball is popped up. This is over near the Yankee dugout and beyond. Jaso runs out of room, but Cano's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Cano drew a walk in the 4th inning. That kind of fueled the inning, and the Yankees scored 3 times in the 4th. There's a happy lady. Another satisfied customer.
Little kid doesn't look too happy.
His mom's got the ball.
Maybe he took one off the hand or something. Hey, what about the kid? Hey, Mom, check out the kid.
Cano with a line drive into right field for a base hit. And he leads off the 6th with a single against Kevin Millwood. That's hit number 8 for the Yankees.
Oh, reaching out over the plate, little off speed, probably a little changeup, maybe a split. Robbie yanks it in the hole for a base hit.
His swing is so almost perfect, but the quickness of his hands right at the very end when he turns the barrel into the ball. It's almost, I'm not saying it is, but almost Aaron-like. Here's Teixeira, who's 2 for 2.
That's high praise.
Yeah, it's about as high as I'm going to go.
You're right, though. Robbie does just have maybe, you know, the prettiest swing in the game. I mean, there's guys that maybe have a little more power or whatnot, but
Teixeira pops one foul and out of play. So far, Teixeira's been a big hitter for the Yankees tonight. A single, a double, a run scored, and a run batted in. The RBI was number 66 on the season. He's in the top 10 in the American League in runs batted in.
You know, Robbie's that guy that the other players watch take batting practice. You know, yeah, I'm sure that you had that, and Eddie Murray had that, and when I played with the Mets, Strawberry was like that.
Curveball hangs high and outside. Ball and 2 strikes.
You know, the opposing team would come out and stop and watch, and Robbie's that guy for the Yankees right now. Everybody wants to see him swing.
I'm going to check on him over at first. He doesn't run very often, just 1 stolen base this year. I think what it complements Robinson Cano, he's not only a great hitter, he's a great fielder. All around good ball player. inside. Backs to Teixeira off the plate. Little visitation rights from Millwood. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seagulls are showing up a little early tonight. Teixeira hits this one hard and foul. Usually they show up just after the ball game. They seem to know when the ball game ends, and they're scooping up all the popcorn that's dropped by the fans. But tonight they're here a little early. It's only the 6th inning, guys.
They're brave too.
Ball 3. Full count now at Teixeira. They got to be upset when the roof's closed. I was just thinking about that. Let's see if Cano is on the move. 3-2 with nobody out here. There he goes. The pitch is on the way, and it's popped in the air to center field. Saunders drifts back. Cano's going to have to go back to first, and there's 1 out. 1 on, 1 out here in the 6th for the Yankees. Raul Ibanez will come to the plate. He's grounded into a double play and also had an RBI single to left. That coming in the 4th inning. 3-1 Yankees in the 6th inning. First pitch is a little high for a ball. Talking to Raul during the course of this year, he and his family loved it up here in Seattle. He says when his career is finally done, he thinks he's going to move back. He already has a home here. He's thinking about moving back to this area. That's how much he enjoyed Seattle. Checks the swing, and that pitch misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, I remember working a series here last year. I think it was in September. And just talking to our local crew, and it was a beautiful day here in Seattle. And one of our crew members, I think it was Josh. Josh is here tonight. He said, "It's coming." And I said, "What are you talking about?" As Ibanez takes a pitch up high, he says, "It's going to start raining in a few weeks." And I said, "Well, when is it going to stop?" He said, "April." Did that happen, Josh? Yeah, it did, huh? Josh is working with us again here in the booth tonight. So I guess the rainy season's come. It just doesn't stop. That pitch is ball 4. Ibanez draws a 4-pitch walk. So the umbrella salesmen do well here. That's the 2nd walk handed out by Millwood. And the Yankees have 2 on and 1 out here in the 6th inning, and Andrew Jones will come to the plate. Andrew struck out, and he also had an RBI single.
Keep the psychiatrist busy out here, right? Fraser Crane.
That's right. Also, you can get coffee on any corner here.
Beautiful downtown area. I love walking the streets here.
Oh, it's great. Jones swings and misses on a breaking ball. Strike 1.
Not too many streets I don't like beating, though, Kenny.
You know what? I figure you could be in any town and say that. Steve Delabar warming up in the Mariners bullpen in left center field. Ground ball towards short. This could be 2. Bryant, Ackley, the smoke. It's a easily turned 6-4-3 double play. The Yankees threaten here in the 6th. Leave 1 man on. It's still 3-1 Yankees. Beautiful part of the country here. A lot of great seafood restaurants. Go down to the Pike Street Market. Pick your own. Dungeness crab. Salmon. All kinds of stuff, David. First pitch is fouled off into the glove of Russell Martin by Casper Wells. Wells has doubled and struck out.
Had that for breakfast today. A Dungeness crab frittata for breakfast.
Really?
It was outstanding.
Ball and a strike. Thus far, Kuroda's allowed 1 run on 2 hits. A double by Wells is one of those 2 that came in the 1st. And John Jaso had an RBI single in the 3rd. He's on deck. Slider just outside. 2 balls and a strike. It's 3-1 Yankees. We're in the bottom of the sixth inning here at Safeco Field. There's a strike, and it's 2-2.
Well, Kuroda just on automatic pilot. You know, he's just so reliable nowadays. You can just count on him getting deep into the games. Pitch count's in good shape here.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 7 strikeouts now for Hiroki Kuroda.
It's almost like you're going to book him for 7 innings every start now. And this one he kind of gets away with. As you see the high slider. When you're going well, you're going well. And Casper Wells sees fastball and gets the high slider. And sometimes you hang him high enough, you get away with it.
Here's Jaso, who's reached on the fielder's choice and singled, and he hits one into center field. That's his second hit of the night. Just the third for the Mariners. Jaso has 2 of them. You were talking about Kuroda. You go back to May the 27th. That was at Oakland. He went 8 innings, allowed 4 hits and no runs. Since then, he's gone 7 innings, 6 innings, 7, 7, 7, 5 2/3, 7 1/3, and 7 again. 7 seems to be his lucky number.
That's as reliable as you can be.
Jesus Montero's up. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball and a strike. There's Montero back in his days in the Bronx. That right center power we were talking about. And some left field power in Anaheim. Over the bullpens. And that's what the Mariners wanted.
Big strong kid. Yeah, excuse me, Ken.
Over the corner. Phil Cuzzy with the call, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
I don't think you realize the size of Montero until you get up on him.
Yeah.
You know, he's really big. He's a big kid, strong. Watching him in batting practice today, and you know, this Seattle ballpark is really large, and he was hitting them up in the right center field stands halfway up, in between the 385 and 405 sign, just at will.
Ground ball snagged by Kuroda. He goes to Cano for 1 on the first. It's a 1-4-3 double play, and the Mariners are done here in the 6th inning. So Kuroda will be headed for the 7th. He comes out again, and nicely turned here. A hot smash. He gloves it, and there's your double play.
I think he's going to fit in great. You know, I think he made the decision to want to make a move. So it wasn't something that he wasn't on board with. And because he's on board with it, I think he's excited. I mean, he's a guy that's used to being around stars when he goes to the All-Star game, and he always fits in. Guys love having him there. So I don't think this will be a real big adjustment for him.
Joe Girardi on the newest acquisition by the Yankees. Ichiro Suzuki just changing clubhouses today. Traded to the Yankees. And he takes a pitch high for a ball. In his initial at bat as a Yankee in the 3rd inning, a single and a stolen base, got as far as 3rd. Then he popped out to 2nd, so Ichiro is 1 for 2. Ground ball to the right side. Smoke with a headlong dive, comes up with it, flips to Millwood, and Ichiro is robbed of a hit by his former teammate. Nice play by Justin Smoke.
Yeah, this ball's hit hard. But it just didn't have the eyes on it that Paul O'Neill was talking about. And Millwood does a good job because Ichiro still gets down the line with the best of them, and you got to get there, and Millwood does.
So 1 out, the number 9 hitter Russell Martin to come to the plate. So you telling me that O'Neill used to draw eyes on his bat?
Yes. draw little eyes on the bat, and then he said if it didn't work, he'd put eyeglasses on the eyes on the bat.
Cadillac scoreboard, Yankees leading 3-1. First pitch to Russell Martin misses. Martin looking for his first hit. He's grounded to second twice. Along those very same lines as Martin takes a pitch for a strike, 1-1, my former teammate Rick Dempsey, he played for the Yankees at one time. He used to line out a lot. And he said, how come when you hit the ball always gets through? I said, when you go to the plate, don't look at the fielders, look at the holes. That's where you want the ball to go. Pitch is fouled into the glove of Jaso for strike 2.
The skill of hitting them where they ain't, right?
Just after midnight on the East Coast. Thanks for staying up with us on this Monday night.
You had a great line about that. I heard one. You said something. Hitters are in the business of production, not direction, right?
Somewhere along those lines. Pitch is lined into center field. Russell Martin picks up a hit. So thanks for being with us. Ken Singleton along with David Cohn and Meredith Marakovitz from the West Coast, the Great Northwest. Martin on with 1 out here in the 7th.
You can see here, when you hit him like that, you don't have to worry about production or direction. You just hit a line drive right on the button.
So Martin's on with the Yankees' 9th hit of the game against Kevin Millwood. Derek Jeter has one that came in the first inning. Derek's also grounded to second and was caught looking, so he's working on a 1-for-3 night. And he takes all the way in there for a strike.
Well, I'm thinking right now, Russell Martin's thinking payback for Jaso. I think he might try to sneak one in here, try to steal a bag. It's payback time because Jaso got him earlier in the game.
Martin is 1-0 this year in stolen base attempts. He's stepping off a pretty good lead over there. There he goes. Curveball. He goes into second with a stolen base. Good call. And he stares in at Jaso.
Right back at you, kid.
Whatever you can do, I can do better.
Yep. Martin runs well, very athletic.
Second stolen base of the year. Jaso's was his first.
Like two little brothers in the backyard, right? Yeah, I got your back.
0-2 the count on Jeter. And he hits a little chopper to the right side for Acklin. Martin's going to move to third, but now there's 2 down. So with 2 down, Martin at third, Curtis Granderson will come to the plate. I like that.
It's a kid's game.
Yeah, it is. Granderson looking for his first hit of the night with Martin at third base. He has struck out twice and flied to right field. There goes the 905. Can't tell if it's headed north or south. Every once in a while, I hear that train whistle in the background.
Midnight train to Georgia right there, right? On the East Coast.
Granderson takes up high for a ball. For those of you who have not been to Safeco Field, beyond the right field fence and beyond the stadium here, a series of railroad tracks, and every once in a while you hear one of those trains rumbling on by. Inside, ball 2 to Granderson. So all kinds of modes of transportation around here. I think there are more boats per capita in Seattle than any other city in America. There should be. You got a whole lot of water around here. Granderson hits one hard and foul down the right field line. Just missed an extra base hit.
That's the thing about the Yankees, you know, collectively as a team on the offensive side, they see more 2-0 and 3-0 and those hitters type counts than anybody. And they also swing in those counts more than anybody. And you see Granderson right there on a 2-0 fastball, ready to swing.
Well, they know what to do with them. They're leading the world in home runs. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The whole idea when you're hitting, swing and strikes, get ahead on the count. The more you are ahead on the count, the more that the pitcher is going to come to the middle of the plate, and that's where you want it.
Yeah, the odds are you're going to get a better pitch to hit. Remember, Teixeira's big double earlier in the game came on a 2-0 pitch, and the numbers bear it out. The Yankees see more of those type of counts than anybody else in the American League, and they swing more in those counts than anybody else.
100 pitches now for the veteran Kevin Millwood. He's got 2 outs and a runner at third.
But Millwood's really pitched a pretty good game here. As you see, he's trying to get out of this 7th and strand that runner on third, but it was really just the top of the 4th where he gave up 3 runs. He got in a little bit of trouble.
High, and the count is run full on Curtis Granderson. Russell Martin getting about as big as lead as he wants at third. The third baseman, Seager's playing shortstop. He was almost halfway home on that last pitch. 3-2 pitch is on the way. Granderson swings and misses. That's the 3rd time he has struck out tonight. And Martin will be stranded at third. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here in Seattle. As we go to the stretch, the Yankees lead 3-1. Here in Seattle, there's Ichiro in right field. First time as a Yankee. Does have a hit tonight. Time for the game summary, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Yankees 3 runs, 9 hits in there. For the Mariners, just 1 run, 3 hits against Rody Kuroda. Ichiro 1 for 3 in his Yankee debut thus far. Teixeira's had a good night. RBI double. He's also had a single and a run scored. Ibanez Jones with RBI singles for the Yankees. Yankees with 3 runs on 4 of their 9 hits in the 4th inning against Kevin Millwood. On to the 7th. Kuroda will face Seager, Saunders, and Smoke. Cadillac scoreboard 3-1. Yankees leading. Kuroda's been tough tonight. Seager takes a pitch in there for a call strike. Tonight he's 0 for 2. Fly to right, grounded to first. Popped up, and Martin coming over. He's not going to have room here. This is back into the seats. But Kuroda once again ahead on a hitter. No balls and 2 strikes.
Good formula. First pitch curveball off speed. As you see, he's backed up by the lefty Boone Logan. Soft stuff early, get ahead, and then the hard stuff. Now you're 0-2. You can go either way. Martin trying to get him to go in. Kuroda wants the splitter.
In the dirt, Seager wouldn't chase. Ball with 2 strikes.
See Kuroda very much in control, very confident out there. You know, he and Russell Martin obviously have a history together with the Dodgers, so they know each other well. And Kuroda not afraid to shake him off, and Martin quick with his signal calling to get to the next pitch.
Nothing lost in translation. Ball is fouled back by Seager.
Exactly right. That's so important for rhythm on the mound. You know, you want to be able to throw. You want to be able to call your own game on the mound, but you want to be able to understand that your catcher is still thinking with you if you shake him off, and he goes right to the next signal quickly so that you don't disrupt the rhythm.
Did you see that movie, David? Lost in translation. Bill
Yes,
Murray.
that was good.
1-2 pitch. Just off the corner. Kuroda has allowed 1 run on 3 hits.
I liked him better in Caddyshack.
Well, it's a classic. Call, strike 3. Seager caught looking. 8 strikeouts now for Kuroda. Fans' copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. There's that last pitch.
Big movement. Watch the swing back movement. I mean, that it ends up on the outside corner. Coming at you. Running away.
Here's Saunders, and he takes a pitch outside for a ball. Saunders tonight grounded to second, called out on strikes. If you're wondering, the not career high, but the season high strikeouts for Kuroda, he had 11 against the Chicago White Sox on June 30th. There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
That's the thing, Phil Cuzzy's done a good job behind home plate tonight. The home plate umpire, a lot of times he won't call pitches unless you hit the glove. A lot of umpires won't call the pitch, but he stays with the pitch. And even if Kuroda doesn't hit the target, if it's a strike, he'll call it.
Inside, 2-1. You mean the glove isn't necessarily set up by Martin, say on the corner?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If it's set up on the outside and it ends up on the inside.
This one's popped up. Looks like it might be playable. Long run for Andrew Jones. He's not going to get there. This ball one hop into the seats. Yeah, Andrew Jones saying to Jeter, you go back to shortstop. I'll worry about left field. Jeter said, we're worried. He says, I'm playing in left center for a left-handed hitter. You got to have fun when you play this game. Maybe the Andrew Jones of 10 years ago would have made that play. Of course, it'd been really tough because he'd been playing center field. His pitch is hit on the ground to Cano, who comes up with it, throws on the first, and there are 2 down here in the 7th.
Wow. Brett Gardner might have made that play.
Yeah, that's true.
If Ichiro moves to left field and Nick Swisher comes back, then Ichiro might have made that play.
That's the plan. Joe Girardi mentioned it before the game in his press conference. It was interesting because Joe met him after Ichiro had the press conference with the Mariners front office people. And then Joe came into the press conference, and the press wanted to know where he's going to bat and all this sort of thing. Joe says, I want to talk to him first. Talk to my newest acquisition first, and we'll talk it over so I can explain. He doesn't want to come right out in front of everybody and say, well, you're batting 8th tonight. That pitch is in there for a strike to Smoke, which is certainly something new for Ichiro because he's never batted lower than 3rd here in Seattle. One pitch misses. It's 2 balls and a strike. So batting 8th is, he's used to batting in the 1st inning. That didn't happen tonight.
We kind of joke with Andrew Jones in left. I mean, the great Gold Glove outfielder. But that was a while ago.
Yes, it was.
And the Yankees didn't sign him for his defense. They signed him to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
And he's doing it.
And he's done a great job for the Yankees. I didn't throw as hard later in my career. He certainly doesn't run as well now at this point in his career, but still a very capable outfielder. But he's here to swing the bat.
You hit it to him, he's going to catch it. Call strike 3. Smoke. Called out on strikes. 10 strikeouts now, or make that 9 strikeouts for Kuroda. New pitcher for the Mariners, and this call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T. Steve Delabar comes out of the bullpen in relief of Kevin Millwood. Millwood went 7 innings, 3 runs, 9 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Pretty good performance, but he's on the short end with a 3-1 score. Gives way to Delabar, who's making his 33rd appearance. He's been up and back and forth to the minor leagues a couple of times this year. 2-1 record, 4.15. You can see the opponent's hitting just 172. That's impressive.
Yeah, strikeouts to walks, very good.
45 strikeouts and 11 walks. Sounds like he's in the mid-90s to me. First batter he will face will be Alex Rodriguez. David Robertson is warming up in the Yankee bullpen, which might be an indication that Kuroda's night is done. Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano, and Mark Teixeira. On our Hyundai scoreboard, it's 3-1 Yankees. Delabar's first pitch is fouled back to our right. Now, Dave Niehaus was a longtime broadcaster for the Mariners here. He passed away last year. And Dave Niehaus is the first one that called Alex Rodriguez A-Rod. And of course, it stuck. Niehaus came to the Mariners in their initial year in Major League Baseball, 1977. And he was a treasure here in the Great Northwest.
Oh, great announcer, Hall of Famer.
Ball and a strike to Alex Rodriguez. Ball is hit well to left center field. Saunders looks up. This one is gone. A home run for Alex Rodriguez. And the Yankees now have a 4-1 lead. Home run number 15 on the season. I don't think there's a ballpark that would have held that one. Leadoff homer for A-Rod off Delabar here in the 8th. The 644th of his career.
Whoa. What you call just dropping the barrel of the bat on a low and in fastball, and that's a long way.
So Alex Rodriguez goes deep. First Yankee home run tonight. And Cano has a big swing and a miss. Here it is, the Coors Light cold hard blast.
Well, Delabar throws hard. That was about 94 miles an hour, and off the bat, about 430 feet maybe.
A-Rod's former teammate, when Ken Griffey Jr. was getting down near the end of his career, we came here to Seattle. He told us, you want to keep it away from left center field here. It won't go unless you hit it like Alex just did. Ball and a strike on Cano. Ground ball, nice stop by the shortstop Ryan, who throws on the first, and Cano is out, number 1.
See Robbie looking back on the big scoreboard here, trying to see the replay himself, because Ryan got an assist from the mound on that one. Hit that off the mound, and it slowed it down just enough.
So A-Rod's next home run is going to be the 300th as the Yankees. So we take another look at Cano's smash.
The pitcher's mound slowed that one down.
Teixeira has to jump out of the way with the hop, skip, and a jump, and it's ball 1. 2 for 3 night for the Yankee first baseman, and a run batted in, run scored. 299 home runs in a Yankee uniform for Alex Rodriguez, and 644 overall. Teixeira drills one to right field. It's going to be in there for at least a base hit. He's turning first, on his way to second. Here comes the throw, and he's in there with his second double of the night. Teixeira is now 3 for 4. Hey fans, you can vote along with us for tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 42951 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Here are your choices: Hiroki Kuroda, Mark Teixeira, Raul Ibanez, or Alex Rodriguez. So Teixeira now with 23 doubles on the season, 2 of them tonight. Ichiro working on his bat there. He's following Andrew Jones, who's on deck.
It seems like Tex is getting a good at-bat every single time almost.
Ibanez takes a pitch for a strike. Teixeira 3 for 4 tonight, now 8 for 20 on the road trip.
Just a lot of good swings.
Yeah.
Even when he's making outs, he's just missing home runs or hitting the ball hard.
Ground ball, foul, and Mick Kelleher, Yankee first base coach, handles it. By the way, Mick Kelleher's birthday's coming up on Wednesday, and he is from Seattle, grew up here. But he also told me this will be the first time he's going to celebrate his birthday in Seattle since high school, because he's been away playing baseball all those years.
Think he can find his high school sweetheart?
I think he's got his sweetheart, Renee. That pitch is low for a ball. A ball and 2 strikes.
Just for old time's sake.
Yeah, old time's sake. Josh Kinney, for old time's sakes, warming up in the Mariners bullpen. Four to 1 Yankees lead. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Trying to pick up their first win on this West Coast swing. Ibanez grounds another ball foul. By the way, when the Yankees finish with these 3 games in Seattle, they don't come out to the West Coast again this year. It'll be done in July. Those West Coast trips that come in September, those are the tough ones. The Yankees do have a trip to Minnesota in Minneapolis later on. That's as far west as they have to go from this point on. Ball bounced to the right side. Smoke has it. He's going to flip to Delabar covering on the play. The Sheriff moves over to third. They're now 2 down.
At least until the postseason.
That's right. But you're all energized for that. Did you ever go to West Coast in the postseason?
Oh, yes. Indeed. You know, Oakland.
As much postseason as you had, I'm sure it showed up somewhere along the line. Had to go to Anaheim.
Well, it was Oakland really in 2000 when the A's were really pushing the Yankees. Yeah, Eric Chavez was on that Oakland team.
Pitches low and away to Andrew Jones for a ball.
We were lucky to beat him. That's how we got to the Subway Series in 2000.
Exactly right. You were down 0-2, weren't you?
But we had to go back out there to win an unbelievable Game 5.
The flip game.
Just incredible game.
The play by Derek Jeter. Got Jeremy Giambi at the plate. Messina's 1-0 when that was Game 3.
That was 2001. It was back-to-back years that they played Oakland. I was gone in 2001. In 2000, we had to go back out. Roger Clemens lost Game 4 at home in Yankee Stadium. We had to fly all the way out there to play Game 5.
Up and in to Andrew Jones, 2 balls and a strike.
The next night.
Wow.
After a night game in New York. That was some game. Mike Stanton came in relief in that game and was the hero.
3 balls and a strike now on Andrew Jones with Mark Teixeira on third and 2 outs. Yankees have 1 run in on the home run by Alex Rodriguez. Slider drops in for a strike. That should be illegal. 3-2. He's looking for the heater. He got a slider. Now the doubt creeps into a hitter's mind. Is he going to do it again? Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it is a slider off the end of the bat. Ackley has a slow roller, throws on to first, and that's it. But the Yankees pick up a run. Alex Rodriguez leading off the inning. Goes deep for the 15th time this season. Number 299 as a Yankee. There is beautiful Safeco Field here in Seattle. Now inside. The roof is open tonight. It's been open all night long, even though it was cloudy most of the day here in Seattle. Temperatures in the mid-60s. Hiroki Kuroda's done for the night. He worked 7 strong innings, a run on 3 hits, 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. And he gives way to David Robertson, making his 31st appearance of the season. You can see the 45 strikeouts in 28 2/3 innings. That's his signature, striking people out. And he'll get Peguero, Ryan, and Ackley here in the bottom of the 8th inning in Seattle. Peguero tonight is struck out swinging and then grounded out against Hiroki Kuroda, who stands to pick up his 10th win of the year if the Yankee bullpen can hang on. First pitch, and it's a call strike.
Kuroda was lights out.
Yeah.
Just sterling effort. All his pitches working. Just stuffed the Mariners out here.
Pitch is fouled off, and quickly Peguero's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. In fact, the only hitter that Kuroda walked was the one that came around to score. He walked Ackley in the 3rd inning. Ackley stole second and then came in on a 2-out single by John Jaso. The 0-2 pitch on the way, and it's swung on and missed. Strike 3. Robertson strikes out the first batter he faces. 10 Mariners have struck out tonight.
You see Russell Martin has been trying to tie up Aguero all night long. Up the ladder. Right on by.
You know, Dave, to me, he's going to have to move off the plate. Those are some long arms to get that bat out in front that quickly. It might work in AAA, but not here in the big leagues. If they find something they can get you out with, you're going to see it consistently. Here's Brendan Ryan, the shortstop. And that pitch is in for a strike. The hitting coach is Chris Chambliss, the former Yankees. For a while, you go with what got you here to the big leagues, but you used to have to start making adjustments with the better pitching that you're going to see. 0-1 pitch is foul tipped into the glove of Russell Martin. It's 0-2. There's the snatcher. And you can see the ranks of the Mariners as far as hitting is concerned. They have struggled offensively. The 0-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, a grounded to Teixeira, and it's going to be 2 up and 2 down for the Mariners here in the 8th inning. In fact, the Mariners had a game yesterday at Tampa Bay. They had to fly all the way across the southeast to northwest, and that's about the longest trip you can have in the American League. He wasn't with them, but the fact is that they struck out 15 times in the game yesterday against the Rays and still won the ball game 2-1. He's on the lookout for popcorn.
We found a buddy.
Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch by Ackley. Ackley has scored the lone run. We mentioned he had walked to the third, stole second, his 10th steal of the year, and came around on a single. It's 1 for 2.
Man, that is a long flight. Huh? Mariners, come on out and see the Yankees now.
Strike 2 call. A couple of years ago, maybe 2, maybe 3 years ago, the Yankees had the same flight. They came from Tampa Bay, flew all the way out here to play Seattle the next night, and Brandon Morrow was throwing like 200 miles an hour, and he shut the Yankees down. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? No, says Jerry Davis, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Since Brandon Morrow has been traded to the Blue Jays.
Oh, just barely checked. See, good 0-2 pitches. They're going up the ladder, and he's got his form back. He's throwing the ball like he did before he went on the DL.
Uh-oh. He tripped, and he's coming up limping, and that's not a good sign. Stevie Donahue, the head athletic trainer, out to the mound along with Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild, home plate umpire Phil Cuzzi. David Robertson limping. He's trying to shake it off here.
Well, you can see how he landed his landed leg. He got caught in the hole and his ankle rolled over. Watch his lead leg right when he lands. Little roll of that ankle. Sometimes, there's already holes dug out. If you catch half on and half off that hole, you could roll your ankle, or it could be really unstable, very dangerous.
He's got that long stride anyway. Yeah, longer than most pitchers his height, and he's trying to walk it off. He says he's okay. Well, that was a scare. He's already spent time on the disabled list this year with an oblique problem. Now the other pitcher has a different landing spot, so that's what you're dealing with.
Yes, you gotta really be stable when you land.
Well, he seems to be okay. He strikes out Ackley on a breaking ball. 2 of the 3 hitters that Robertson faces, he strikes out. To the ninth, Yankees leading 4-1. You just saw images of Ichiro's first night in a Yankee uniform as the fans in Seattle salute him. Say so long. at least to his time with the Mariners after 11.5 years. Now a New York Yankee. The trade completed this afternoon. A press conference before the ball game here at Safeco Field. And shortly after the press conference, Ichiro emerged from the third base dugout in a Yankee uniform wearing number 31. And in his first at bat, he had a base hit to center field. And they still rung it up on the Ichi meter. They're giving him his props. He's got 106 hits this year.
You know, in some ways, it's so unique because they get the whole weekend to say goodbye to him. You know, you get a 3-game weekend series. I mean, during midweek series, we got a day game Wednesday. So yeah, come on out, say goodbye.
New pitcher is Josh Kinney, who's coming in out of the Mariners bullpen. He follows Delamar, and this is his 6th game. Kinney was called up from the minor leagues on June the 30th. 4 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. Ichiro tonight 1 for 3. He was robbed of a hit his last time up. Batting 8th for the Yankees. He'll be followed by Russell Martin and then Derek Jeter. Here in the 9th inning. Kenny deals, and Kenny deals a strike.
I was going to say probably the saddest guy on the Seattle clubhouse is his interpreter, right?
They might bring him with them.
Bring him with them, or they have another Japanese-speaking player, don't they?
They have a couple more. They have 2 more.
2 more guys, right? So
one of the pitchers.
He's still got a job then.
Iwakuma's pitching on Wednesday. Hisashi Iwakuma's pitching the Wednesday game. Oh, 2 on Ichiro. Curveball hangs high. Ball with 2 strikes.
They say that Ichiro actually understands and speaks pretty well English, more than you think. He just obviously uses the interpreter because he wants to make sure that his answers are proper with the media. Precise, yes.
This one's hit in the air. It's going to twist foul and out of play.
You could see him talking to Freddie Garcia before and conversing with some of the teammates.
I think the language of baseball is kind of universal. You know, everybody knows what hang Wyndham means. Jammed, and it's fouled off the foot of Ichiro. So the count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
We were watching Ichiro in batting practice, and he must have hit 10 balls that he pulled into the stands. And he was asked a question about ballparks.
Yeah, he was.
And he gave sort of a telling answer and said, you know what, you adjust to the ballpark. And it's going to be interesting to see if he changes his style a little bit in Yankee Stadium, because he's very capable.
I think he hinted at it, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, I'm really interested to see him play at Yankee Stadium.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
You don't realize it. I mean, Wade Boggs was that way too. You know, one of the best batting practice home run hitters you'll ever see. Ichiro hit about 10 balls in the right field stands. But that's what he's known for. Singles. Hits.
Line drive right at Ackle. He's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. Fans, stay here after the final out for the WB Mason postgame. Nancy Newman breaks down this series opener and takes a look around the rest of baseball. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz is in the clubhouse for all the reaction, including the manager's report. It's the WB Mason postgame, only on Yes. Here's Russell Martin. Had a single and a stolen base last time, which was called by David Cohn. He said you said he was going to go.
Yeah, he paid back. Jaso got him, the Seattle catcher, got him earlier in the game, and you could just tell Russell Martin, when he got on first base, it was he was going to get him right back.
Did that sprinter stance kind of give it away? You got the Olympics coming up. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and a strike. For Martin, that was his second stolen base of the year, so it's not like he hadn't done it before. Look down, that's inside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. I think the Seagulls sense we're getting towards the end of the game. There seems to be more and more of them showing up here. Soriano warming up along with Chad Qualls. Rafael Soriano and Chad Qualls, right-handers in the Yankee bullpen. Ball is drilled but foul. That's a tough souvenir.
This is also, even though for a new ballpark, one of the tougher bullpens to warm up in because the fans are right on top of you. And I remember facing Seattle in the playoffs too in the year 2000. Those fans up here, all across here, those guys, they can really give it to you. The hecklers, they come out when the big games. Now, different times now in Seattle. But
2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. 2 down. Boy, they're saying things like, "Is that all you got?"
They are right on top of you. I mean, they could almost reach out and touch you right there. And of course, you know the bar's open too. They're tough. Seattle fans are tough. They are passionate. You know, as I said, it's a little different times now with Seattle in last place, but when they were in first place, that refused to lose chant that they had back in the, even back to 1995 in the Kingdome. But here at this new ballpark, wow, almost Fenway Park-like, where the hecklers could get right to you.
Pitch is in there for a strike to Jeter. Of course, in those days, they had Randy Johnson, who refused to lose it most of the time. There are the batters hanging here at Safeco Field, moved across the street from the dearly departed Kingdome, which, as David said, was imploded. There's a call, strike to Jeter, counts 0-2. Now, when it was imploded, they hadn't taken away all the rubble yet. So I tried to get a piece of it. It was too far to reach through the fence to get it. I wanted to take a piece of the Kingdome home with it.
Left part of my arm in that Kingdome after Game 5 in '95.
Jeter's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. He's working on a 1-for-4 night. Had a single his first time up. Ground ball to the left side. Sager has it. Across the diamond, the Yankees go quietly against Josh Kenney. Last chance for the Mariners. We head to the bottom of the 9th. The Yankees are up by 3. You can see Rafael Soriano taking his warm-up tosses, and while he does, we're going to take a look at the American League East standings. There are the Yankees. A win tonight would put them back to 20 games over 500. They got a 6.5 game lead on the Orioles, who lost tonight, and that would move to 7. You got the Rays 8.5. Everybody would drop back a half a game. The Blue Jays 9 at the moment. The Red Sox 10 at the moment. And the Yankees 3 outs away from picking up their 58th win of the year. Rafael Soriano trying to have a bounce back after yesterday's blown save in Oakland. He gave up a home run in the 9th inning to Seth Smith of the A's, and that tied the game, and the Yankees went on to lose in extra innings. Soriano now 24 of 26 in save opportunities. You can see 40 strikeouts in 38 innings, along with 34 hits and 15 walks.
But we saw Soriano. I mean, he threw about 10 out of 11 straight sliders and curveballs, and that one just up in the zone. And Seth Smith was sitting on it and hit it a long way. And Soriano said after the game he thought it was a fly ball.
It was. It was a little longer than he thought.
A big fly.
Yeah, it
ball.
was a big fly. So now he has a chance to get a little bit more of a cushion tonight. It's 4-1 Yankees. Casper Wells, John Jaso, and Jesus Montero, the scheduled hitters for the Mariners here in the 9th inning. Wells is 1 for 3. He doubled in the first inning, then struck out twice against Hiroki Kuroda. And there's a pitch in there for a strike. Soriano originally started with the Seattle Mariners. They signed him back in 1996, undrafted free agent. Ramon De Los Santos was the scout that signed him out of the Dominican Republic. swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. And he got to the major leagues in 2002 at Seattle. And I guess over the next few years, he and Ichiro became buddies because he gave Ichiro a big hug in the clubhouse today prior to the game. The 0-2 pitch to Wells, outside for ball. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. In fact, it was Soriano before the game. After the hug, he told him, we stretch at 5:30. Don't be late. So Soriano follows David Robertson, who had a perfect 8th inning. Set the Mariners down 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts. And Soriano comes on to try and pick up the save. Call, strike 3. Cashman Wells has struck out 3 times tonight to go along with the double. So that's the hat trick. Soriano picks up a strikeout. The Yankee bullpen has faced 4 batters and struck out 3 of them. Here's Ichiro. After warming up, he throws the ball to the lady with the holds the Ichi meter.
Changed the sign too. Number 31 now, area 31.
How about that?
From area 51. Much respect.
Here's John Jaso, who drove in the run for the Mariners. Ground ball towards short. Derek Jeter has it. A little bit of a tough hop. The throw is in time, and there's 2 outs. So the Mariners are down to their last out. And it'll leave it up to former Yankee Jesus Montero, who tonight has reached on an error, struck out, and grounded into a double play. The youngster hitting .258 with 9 home runs and 37 runs batted in. The Yankees 1 out away from picking up their first win here on this West Coast swing after dropping the first 4 games in Oakland. Montero taking all the way. That one's in the dirt and away from Russell Martin, and it's ball 1.
A big win, really. I mean, Yankees had a 10-game lead. It was down to 6. They make the trade for Ichiro. They got a chance to get a big win here and pick up another game and kind of reverse that trend and get that lead back to 7 games.
Upstairs, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 9th. Tomorrow night, these 2 teams will do it again. It'll be Freddie Garcia against Felix Hernandez. The Chief against the King. Ball 3. And Soriano looks down at the man. Looked like he had a misstep. Going to do some gardening now.
By the end of the game, those holes get dug out from all the pitchers that came before them. That dig out that mound, and see Soriano looking down too as well. And
right in there for a strike, 3-1. Now, the bounds are supposed to be uniform, but there's different feels to them. Different type of clay and dirt mixed in.
Absolutely, different textures, and it's part of the game. You have to deal with it, but you certainly want to be aware of how you land.
High fly ball. How's this? Ichiro's going to catch the final out in his first game in a Yankee uniform. And that's it. The Yankees win the first game of this 3-game series, and Ichiro can celebrate with his new teammates here at Seattle's Safeco Field. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who's tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Big smile on his face as the Yankees win this one 4-1 over Seattle. And as I mentioned before, they break a 4-game losing streak. Not only was it a losing streak, they lost 4 tough games in Seattle, in Oakland, all by 1 run. So Ichiro, a winner in his first night in a Yankee uniform. The Yankees break that losing streak, and everybody's a little happier. Alex Rodriguez, of course, with a long home run. His 15th of the season gave the Yankees a 3-run cushion going into the ninth. So
what a difference a day makes, huh, for the Yankees in the Yankee universe.
Yeah, it was a tough flight coming up from Oakland after the ball game yesterday, but a little bit the feelings have been smoothed somewhat, or soothed somewhat, as the Yankees win the opening game of this series. All right, now we're going to kick it down to Meredith Marakovits near the Yankee dugout for an interview with the newest Yankee. Meredith.
Ichiro, I have to imagine this one is an extremely emotional day for you. What was it like to put on that Yankees uniform for the first time?
今日初めてヤンキーズユニフォームを着て今どういう気持ちですか？
いやもうヤンキースのユニフォームを着て、もちろんこれは特別なものでありますし、今日は僕のホームであったシアトルでゲームをこんなたくさんのファンの前でプレーすることができて、僕にとって大変特別な日になりました。
You know, it's very special to put on the Yankees uniform, and especially being at Safeco where I played and in front of the great fans. So it was going to be a special day for me today.
You mentioned the fans. What was it like stepping into that batter's box for the first time and seeing that, hearing that standing ovation come from the people that cheered for you for the last 11 and a half years?
初打席スタンディングオベーションの時どういう気持ちでしたか？
いやファンの方が喜んでくれるのかどうかっていうのは不安があったので、1打席目でああいう反応をしていただいたことはもう大変僕にとってありがたいことでしたし、一生の思い出に残る日になりました。
You know, I was a little worried. I didn't know what the fans were going to react to, and you know, but they were very kind and gave me the standing ovation, and this was very special for me today.
Sure. Thanks for the time, Alan. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Guys, send it back upstairs.
Thank you very much, Meredith, and thank you, Ichiro. In the first night in the Yankee uniform, the Yankees come up winners by a score of 4-1.